Defending the government, GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP. Against the government, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, Atul Kumar Anjan of the Communist Party of India, Chengal Reddy, President of the Federation of Farmers Associations, Devender Sharma, Food Policy Analyst. He leans towards the RSS, I think, on this. Joining us from Chandigarh, Mohini Mohan Mishra is National Secretary of the Bhartiya Kissan Sangh. Mr. Mishra, let me start with you. It's a big victory for you, isn't it? The decision of the government to go back on this.
No, it is not the victory or a defeat. It is the true path for what the government should do. It is not the part of this government only. This GEAC is playing the hide and seek game with the entire nation. It is not the winning of anybody or anything like that.
So how many people met the government and how did you convince them?
No, it is a continuous process. Since 2000 days, there was a debate on BT brinjal. Government of India and Jairam Ramesh moved throughout the country, consulted with everybody, and there was a moratorium on BT brinjal.
Yeah,
and again the GEAC came out.
But on July 22nd, the Minister of State for Agriculture in a written reply to Parliament said the government policy is to allow GM crops after full scientific evaluation.
Yes, we also agree with that. Let there be scientific evaluation.
Right. So
without scientific evaluation, the GEAC unilaterally how he is taking the decisions?
No, so this field trials, so the government was for field trials of GM crops on the 21st, 22nd of July. It was open to it.
No. It is not like that. It is not like that.
No, when did you meet the government people? When did this meeting happen? The latest meeting between the Swadeshi, Jagran, Manch and the Bhartiya Kissan Sangh?
We tried several times. Finally, we met today only.
Today? Oh, okay.
And
it's a quick response. It's a quick response from the government.
This is not a quick response.
Then what is it?
It is a continuous process. Many people are agitating, not only Bhartiya Kissan Sangh, almost all the farmers' organizations and all the social activists are against this thing. Because this is a hide and seek science.
No, Mr. Mishra, just to put the record straight, this discussion is not about whether or not GM crop trials are good or bad, and I agree with you, there are lots of question marks over GM crops. The question is not that, the question is, Mr. Narasimha Rao, that if I am not mistaken, Mr. Narasimha Rao, you used to be very upset when Sonia Gandhi used to decide what to do based upon what the National Advisory Council says. You used to say that extra constitutional outside forces should not influence the thinking of the government. So what happened in this case? Has the RSS become the NAC? Has the RSS become the equivalent of the National Advisory Council and even more powerful? Because with the NAC, Congress had a choice whether to agree or disagree. With the RSS, you don't have a choice. You have to meekly surrender.
No. Congress government never had a choice. I think that's quite...
So you agree the RSS is the NAC?
That's quite a statement to make. Let me answer your question. I think the story that you are breaking today is there is no confirmation of it from the official sources.
What confirmation?
So I'm not really sure what the government
confirmation
is.
It has been said. What confirmation?
No, whether the trials have been suspended. I think there is still not a...
Sir, a statement. Sir, are you questioning the RSS?
From the government.
A statement has been issued by the Swadeshi Jagran Manch, which assures that the decision about the field trials of GM crops has been put on hold.
So I think taking...
Why are you looking so jittery?
Let me say this. No, I'm not jittery. I think you're trying to imagine certain feelings from me. Okay, let me say this. Politics is a part of supporting, negotiating with your support groups and engaging in a dialogue.
Sir, but there is a written reply in Parliament on July 22nd.
It's a part of the process.
No, but there is a written reply. There is a written reply, sir. Please consider. I know politics, you can change your positions, negotiate, etc. It's not, first of all, you may be doing it. No, 1 second. I am only on the point of RSS. You see, sir, there is this man Sanjeev Balyan. He's a controversial man anyway. You know, he has got a controversial background in vis-a-vis other issues in Uttar Pradesh. He's your Minister of State for Agriculture. in a written reply to Parliament after July 22nd, when the question was posed, he says that the government will allow GM crops after a full evaluation, which is a change of position from the manifesto, which says no, which is
part of our manifesto.
No, it is not. It is not. You don't even know your own manifesto.
It is.
No, it is not.
No, please read. I'm reading.
No, it is not. I'll read your manifesto. The BJP spokesperson does not know his own manifesto.
Please read it.
I'll read it. In your manifesto. Yes, I'll read it.
You don't have it.
Yes, your manifesto says that. Your manifesto says that GM crops will not be allowed
without full scientific evaluation.
Right. In your written reply, what do you say? No. 1 second. In your written reply, you say you will allow GM crops after a full evaluation.
No, please read from the manifesto.
Clearly, you intend to allow GM crops once the scientific evaluation is complete, which means you have shown openness in a written reply in Parliament to allowing GM crops.
Yes.
You have given a favorable response. You have given a favorable response.
Field trials are a part of the evaluation.
Sir, you have given a favorable...
I think field trials...
Sir, please
understand. Field trials are a part of evaluation process.
Sir, but today, after that, you see you chickened out.
No, there is no change.
After that, you chickened out.
Change in stand.
After that, you chickened out. Then one minister says we are open. Then Javadekar, the Environment Minister, says it's not a government decision. Sanjeev Balyan says one thing. Then RSS people meet. Then they do a U-turn. What's going on? What's going on, sir?
I think there are certainly different views on
different views on an important issue like
this. The government will engage in a dialogue within the RSS, across different stakeholders.
Sir, I want to ask you today. I want to ask you today. Sir, I want to ask you, why don't you appoint... Chengal Reddy is coming into the debate. His hand goes up there. I want to ask here today, just before you come in, then you don't need a regulator. You can appoint Mohan Bhagwat, the regulator, on these decisions.
No.
Chengal Reddy.
I think they also have their entitled to have opinion.
Let me. No. Please. You see, this is totally absurd of this RSS party and also BJP. See, firstly, what is research? I wish these two people will understand that research is a continuous process. Now, today's statement, if I have to accept what Time said, you are stopping research. How can you do the scientific evaluation without allowing field trials? What is GEAC? Do you know, both of you? GEAC is basically a body that evaluates the RCGM issue, and then what has happened yesterday in the last 10 days is they have just given approval for conducting field trials. After conducting field trials, it will again come to GEAC, then they will make a scientific evaluation. And today, if what you said is correct, then we are all farmers are shocked, because let me tell you, we all believe that Mr. Modi is a man to support technology. And remember, that he was allowed to support the nuclear energy. Now you are saying that he will not allow genetic technology. Here is a document which shows in the last 10 years, Mr. Modi's government has been consistently allowing field trials in his own state of Gujarat on all the MNCs, private companies, public sector companies. How can your BJP government today in Delhi says, and GEAC gives approval, somebody says
RSS doesn't like it.
RSS people come and say, no, we want to do evaluation. What is the evaluation
Devendra Sharma.
Capable of?
Devendra Sharma, I mean, there has to be a consistency.
There is an RCGM, there is an agriculture university, there is a system evolved 30 years back. And how can you say that overnight some politicians come and say this is good, bad?
Not politicians. Not politicians. RSS.
Really politics and ridiculous. If what has happened
RSS.
today is correct, then I think we are going to question Mr. Modi. We are not bothered about these people, because we know. See,
okay, Mohini Mohan Sharma and Devendra Sharma, I'd like you to respond to that. Mr. Sharma.
Mr. Modi supports genetic technology.
Let him first finish.
Yes, Mr. Sharma, go ahead.
Well, I think we are diverting a very important debate which should be on whether the India needs GM crops or not, to whether it's the RSS doing it, or whether it's the Bhartiya Kissan Sangh doing it, or whether it's the GM industry doing it, or whether Mr. Ambani is doing it. I think we have to shift from that to whether the country needs GM crops or not. And I think if you look at globally, the experience wherever GM crops have been has been disaster. and disaster including in America. I can understand Mr. Chengal Reddy's interest because he's always on the sides of Monsanto, so he would like Monsanto to be regulator of the
country. Are you saying Mr. Chengal Reddy is an American stooge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he represents Monsanto's interest, and we know it. You know, the point I'm trying to make is whether the country's farmers require GM crops for what? There is not even a single GM crop in the world which increases productivity. Let me tell you that GM crops are the ones that, after they came in, the pesticide use has jumped all over the country, in all the countries where the GM crops are there. The health impacts are so disastrous that America has become the sickest nation among the developed countries so far today. You know, and the graph that we have seen in sickness in America after 1994 is phenomenal. Now, why do you want these crops to come into India? There is no shortage of food.
But is it being done in Gujarat?
Companies, the GM companies.
Is it being done in Gujarat, as Chengal Reddy says? If it is bad, is it being done in Gujarat?
Let me tell you.
Is it being done in Gujarat? Chengal Reddy is responding. Chengal Reddy is responding. 1 second. Chengal Reddy is responding to you.
I don't know if I'm answering that.
No, Chengal Reddy is responding to you. Hear him.
For the last 30 years, every
Let me answer that question, Arnav.
productivity has stagnated. Are you able to find a solution? Can you suggest a solution? What is it you are talking?
I can suggest a solution. I can suggest a solution to what Mr. Chengal Reddy is saying.
How are you going to solve your drought problem? How are you going to solve your weed problem? What is your solution? You tell us.
No, let me tell you, in America, hold on, let me answer Mr. Chengal Reddy.
You want mobile technology, but
let me answer Mr. Chengal Reddy. This is not a Monsanto company office. This is not a Monsanto boardroom. Please let me answer this. Let me answer this. In America, 100 million hectares is now under super weeds, the weeds that cannot be controlled by chemicals. If that is the situation you want because of genetically modified crops, you are welcome to do it. You are talking about weeds, you are creating super weeds in America. So you should know that what is happening in the rest of the world. Don't give us wrong information.
Mr. Sharma,
hold on. If GM crops were so wonderful, let me answer that. Let me finish first, Mr. Chengal Reddy. I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you when you were talking.
Genetic soya
I did not interrupt you when you were talking.
Brazil,
Please listen to me.
Consuming day and night.
Listen to me.
Now you say there is a disease in America.
I am telling you.
Let you prove one single case where a disease has affected anywhere in the world. What are you talking?
Let me answer those. Please don't interfere. Don't intervene when I am talking.
In India itself.
Don't intervene.
Okay, Mr. Chengal Reddy, let him complete.
Let me answer.
Totally wrong information.
No, 1 second.
One second. You answer this single question. Are we Indians importing 22 million
please
tons
stop
of
it.
soya
Can you let me speak?
or not? You first answer that.
Can you please tell me?
Tell me
Let
that.
me
You answer
now.
that question
You know,
and then
in
you
America,
go to the
they
other
say
subject.
that-
What are you talking? Every year we are importing genetic oil. Every day we are eating genetic oil. Every day and our Indians in America are eating genetic oils. And you say that genetics is creating problem. You show me one single case.
Let me answer that, Mr. Chengal Reddy. Please don't go on shouting like a Monsanto spokesperson. Please let me speak.
You prove it, any medical evidence.
I will prove it. Give me time.
Let him speak now, Mr. Chengal Reddy. Let Devendra Sharma respond to him. Two parts of the debate right now. Are GM crops good or bad? One issue. Is the RSS calling the shots? Another issue. Let's deal with the first issue first. Devendra Sharma is responding now. We are going to deal with the first issue. Sanjay Jain, Atul Kumar Ranjan, bear with me. Yes, go ahead. Let these three gentlemen take the debate forward.
The question of health impact, let me tell you clearly, genetically modified industry has not allowed there's only one clinical trial held so far globally. And that is where negative impacts of health impacts were seen. And GM industry has ensured there are no trials to know what negative impacts it can cause to human health. Now, the only trial that happened was Dr. Cyrulnik of France, where he showed that the mouse, after eating for 2 years, the whole lifespan of the human being, huge tumors developed. And this is a shown research. You can even Google right now Cyrulnik rats and you'll see the kind of tumors, male and female, huge tumors. It's such a disgusting sight that if you eat GM food for your lifetime, this is what happens to you.
Then tell me 2 questions. 1 minute, Devendra Sharma. Okay, I assume GM crops are very bad. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
I have only 2 questions. Is it true what Chengal Reddy said? That genetically modified crops have been allowed and encouraged in the state of Gujarat? Question number 1. Question number 2. Why does the RSS not stop the import of GM crops and food products? Stop it. What are you saying, Mr. Reddy? No, 1 second.
First, can I answer that? You asked me a question, Arnav, can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead. I see Mohan Mishra also coming into the debate. I think Chengal Reddy is showing some
let
paper.
both the BJP
Let
and
me answer
RSS
that
people prove that this is not being done in Gujarat.
No, what is not being done in Gujarat? What is not being done in Gujarat?
Arnavji,
Can I answer?
Arnavji,
Let's get the three gentlemen on screen, please, for this part of the
Can I
debate.
come in?
Go ahead. You are welcome. You are welcome.
Can I come in?
Yes, Mr. Mohan Mishra.
अर्नब जी, 3 प्रश्न है उसमें. पहला है whether GEAC is correct or Government of India the UPA 2 is correct. You have to decide it. Whether GEAC is correct or the Supreme Court is correct. It is sub judice. The Supreme Court Technical Expert Committee has been denied the trial of this crop. Whether this Parliamentary Standing Committee also objected it under the chairmanship of Vasudev Acharya in 2012. तो ये जो बार बार GEAC कर रहा है, कौन सही है? पार्लियामेंट स्टैंडिंग कमेटी सही है या GEAC?
मिश्रा जी, अगर इतना ही बुरा है GM क्रॉप्स, तो मैं सिर्फ मेरा एक ही सवाल है कि सरकार पार्लियामेंट में क्या बोल रही थी? क्या बोल रहे थे संजीव बलियान जी पार्लियामेंट में?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या बोल रहा है?
नहीं, मैं पूछ रहा हूं. ओके, नाउ विल कम टू द पॉलिटिकल पार्ट. अतुल कुमार अंजान एंड संजय झा. अतुल कुमार अंजान एंड संजय झा.
रमेश, व्हाट यू आर टेलिंग?
नहीं, अतुल कुमार अंजान एंड संजय झा. Let's go to the political part of the debate. Atul Kumar Anjan and Sanjay Jha, to both of you, do you think Narasimha Rao, GVL Narasimha Rao, should explain the politics of it, of whether the RSS has become the new National Advisory Council with even greater powers, and whether Mohan Bhagwat will determine the economic policies of this government? Is that not a valid issue for the BJP spokesperson to address? Sanjay Jha and Atul Kumar Anjan, either of you can go first. Yes, Sanjay Jha, baby.
Okay. You know, Arnab, there are so many inherent contradictions in the way this whole thing is processing forward. You have already expressed them in the channel in terms of what the Environment Minister said, what the Agriculture Minister said, and finally the flip-flop as evidenced by the pressure put on them by the Swadeshi Jagran Manch. I mean, you know, today if you look at the Swadeshi Jagran Manch, they are the intellectual think tank on economic policy for the RSS. And what do they stand for? They stand for being anti-liberalization, anti-privatization, anti-globalization. The three things that the BJP says it stands for. Now, that is the real challenge that you're seeing already today. It's a tug of war. The RSS has the remote control. And today what has happened, if you do not have field trials, you will never have a scientific evaluation. And the very fact that at the moment even the field trials are being prevented, I'm not even getting into the merits and demerits of the GM-modified crops. But the critical issue is that today the RSS is calling the shots and the BJP is a puppet on a string. The BJP is a puppet on a string.
The BJP...
Yeah, you have demonstrated what a puppet government looks like in the country. I think you have run a puppet-led government for 10 years.
Why don't you stick to the facts, Mr.
So
why don't you stick to the facts, Mr. Rao?
Let me tell you, Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao, you are now going to take umbrage under the fact that this was a decision. This is not rhetoric. That 1 minute, the Genetic Engineering Advisory Committee, if that recommends a field trial and your government surreptitiously allows it, how does it suddenly buckle under pressure because of the RSS, Sangh, and secondly by the pressure from the Swadeshi Jagran? That is the fundamental question. You have to answer that question.
From Sonia Gandhi, this government wants to take...
Well, let me tell you, the UPA government held public meetings. 1 minute, we held public meetings. The BT brinjal is on a moratorium. I'm sorry, Mr. Rao, you have to find out that we held public hearings. They were held in a very open format. Everybody was invited, all stakeholders, civil society, farmer lobbies, biotechnology companies, everybody. Yeah, it was not done in a very, stealthy manner as your government has tried to do. And now you have collapsed under pressure from your own RSS think tank. That's a fact.
1 second. First of all, Sanjay Jha, please hold back your precious argument. Your government was a rudderless, powerless government controlled by 10 Janpath, which in turn was controlled by the National Advisory Council. So you can keep your whole idea of a strong, confident government aside. Yes, the issue is this. The issue is simply political, Atul Kumar Anjan. कि आज सरकार में कौन control में है? What is the extent of reach and power of a man called Mohan Bhagwat? There is a GEAC which has limited itself to examining 15 categories of GM crops, out of which it gives the green signal for 13. And in Parliament, Sanjeev Balian speaks about it 6 days back. No, 1 second. Tomorrow people will be worried that the government may say something else in the floor of Parliament, and tomorrow 2 RSS people will go and meet the minister and the government will do a U-turn. I am not on the merits of GM crops. I am on the process of it. Do you think Mr. Narasimha Rao, Atul Kumar Anjan has been able to explain his government's position clearly on this? Or do you think he's dodging?